You're with JustStocks. I'm Andrew Scott, speaking this morning with Andrew Paterson from Great Boulder. Andrew, good to have you back on. Good morning.
Good morning and congratulations on the new platform. It's fantastic.
Thank you very much. Look, Andrew, looking ahead 2024, given your portfolio, what are the upcoming plans? What are your near-term catalysts?
Yeah, right. So upcoming plans are definitely testing a whole range of new targets, particularly on the eastern side of our Sidewell gold project at Meekatharra in Western Australia. So these, for people who've been watching our progress, these are targets that we've had on the drawing board for quite a long time. And we now have access to 14 kilometres of strike and a number of targets in there. And based on the surface geochemistry, we're looking for more of these Ironbark style deposits, which is high grade, hopefully 100,000 ounces plus at surface. So these are, if we can find more of them, that's a really significant step forward for the company.
Is there a focus on getting into production at any of these projects?
Look, it's something that we're always thinking about, and as one step in that direction, we have a mining lease application in progress over Ironbark, and that's one of the things on the schedule for this year is to negotiate a mining agreement with the traditional owners to get that mining lease granted, and that then presents opportunities for how to deal with that deposit. But yeah, other than that, we're considering opportunities for processing or in the future with our neighbour Westgold, which is, their mill is about 25 kilometres away. That's the most obvious, but it's not the only possibility.
But look, I was going to touch on that. Are you fielding much interest from strategic investors at either a company or project level?
Short answer, yes. So there's an increasing amount of discussion broadly and more specifically with us about the regional dynamic with the four juniors in the sort of the Meekatharra area, being us, Meeka Metals, Odyssey Gold and Ora Gold. Odyssey and Ora both recently updated their resources. The combined resource base of those four companies is now 2.5 million ounces, so it's getting quite significant. Meeka are the most advanced. We're probably the second most advanced. Ora, mind you, rapidly catching up. So it's quite interesting how that all plays out, and the challenge for us is to demonstrate value kind of on a dollar per ounce basis, because we feel vulnerable due to our low share price at the moment.
Well, on that, Andrew, talk us through your enterprise value and how that sits alongside some of your peers.
Yeah, so our EV at the moment is in the order of $30 million. Now, considering that's based upon almost entirely on the Sidewell Gold Project, which is a mineral endowment of 2/3 of a million ounces and quite a high grade one, so an average grade of 2.8 grams per tonne right next to town. So we argue that those are really quite high value ounces due to their location. If you compare that, for example, to Ora, who have a resource base there of 240,000 ounces at admittedly a really nice high grade of 4 grams per tonne, they're capped at about the same enterprise value as us. So, around about a third of the resource size, but the same EV. So they're obviously doing, I guess, comparing very favourably on a dollar per ounce basis. At a very kind of high level, I guess if we were in exactly the same frame as them, then you might argue that we'd be about 2.5 to 3 times the price. But that's quite a loose metric, obviously. Another comparison would be Musgrave Gold. That transaction enacted at around about $200 million, and they were just short of 1 million ounces in resource. So that's also quite favourable to us. They were, I suppose, lucky in the sense geographically that they were almost equidistant between Ramelius and Westgold, so there was some degree of competitive tension there.
Well, look, Andrew, given your 2024 exploration plans, how well funded are you?
Yeah, good. We closed last year at about $4.5 million, and $5 million, and So, you know, that gives us a nice clear runway through at least the first half of this year without being anywhere near having to raise money well into the second half of the year. Having said that, you know, we're kind of conscious there's two ways we can go. The plan A, which is what we're obviously working towards now, is being fairly cautious with our cash burn so that we can, you know, if required, push that cash balance as far towards Christmas as need be. Plan B, if the industry wakes up and then all of a sudden people are throwing money at advanced gold companies, we can whistle up extra rigs, you know, today. There's obviously heaps of drill rigs available, and we've got heaps of targets to drill, so we can accelerate things anytime we want.
It's a good position to be in. Andrew, just to summarise, why would you encourage investors to add Great Boulder to their portfolio?
Well, I think really it's all about upside, and I would argue, you know, our upside in the context of those four juniors that I was talking about, I think our upside is the best in the sense that we have all these new targets that we haven't even looked at yet. And, you know, we have a stated target of reaching 1 million ounces in resource and then start doing perhaps some economic studies next year. And we're really, you know, concentrating on that path. So, you know, that's really the growth story for Great Boulder, and that will be the large part of our news flow for this year.
Great to have you on JustStocks this morning, Andrew. Thanks for your time.
Thanks very much.